Now, this story got us all talking today. You might have read about this. The sandwich maker Greencore Group in Northampton, which supplies sandwiches to most of our major supermarkets, is employing up to 250 staff from Eastern Europe because they say they can't find local people who are willing to do the work. Now, yesterday, the Hungarian recruitment company who've been hired to find these staff said British people aren't prepared to stand in a factory for up to 12 hours a day because it's just easier to live on benefits. Have they got a point, or is that a bit harsh, do you think?
I think that is harsh. I mean, the fact of the matter is you've got to stand for 8 to 12 hours making sandwiches for the minimum wage. Now, that might be attractive to some people, but a lot of people, and particularly women with children, would not want to do that. I think they'd find it a really tough thing to do, and unless they were really, really desperate for the money. The other thing I'd say is that these sandwiches are sold in all sorts of places, and if I know that my sandwich costs, some poor sod got £6.50 an hour for making that sandwich, I'd rather pay 10p more on my sandwich so that people earn the living wage, which is £7.85.
So what's the difference? Because I think people get confused, don't they, about the living wage and the minimum wage.
It's not statutory. You don't have to pay that wage, but more and more enlightened employers all over the country are deciding, because they care for their workers, to pay more than the basic legal minimum, which is £6.50 an hour. And I think the minimum wage is shockingly low. And there's a report out today that says 1 in 4 workers in this country who are on that minimum wage, 10 years after they started off on it, they're still trapped in poverty. They've not gone anywhere.
Yes, because people say, oh, well, you should go and start somewhere.
It's just cheap labour.
Yeah, and then you progress, but statistics say
no,
they don't.
You're going to be making sandwiches. The chances are you'll be making sandwiches stuck on that rate of pay, 10 years down the line.
But they are saying that there's a lot of unemployment in that area. So there will be people watching this who say, I go to work, I don't earn a lot of money, I earn maybe just above that or what I'd get on benefits, but I want that kind of responsibility of getting up in the morning and going to work. And they will look and say, well, I'm sorry, I don't particularly love my job, but I get up and I do it. And why should you sit at home on benefits, long-term benefits, because you don't really fancy standing in a factory?
I think that's the problem that we have. I think the Brits aren't lazy. I think that we're spoilt. I think we have a great alternative to work, which is a very generous benefit system. And if people were more desperate and needed to work, then I'm sure that making sandwiches would not be beneath them, and that's what my issue is, that people see these jobs as beneath them. And it's also the fact that they see these jobs and they see the money as not lucrative enough for them. It's much more lucrative to sit at home on benefits.
Some of them is the fact that if they take that job on as a full-time job and lose their benefits, they're then left with a shortfall of how they're going to pay their bills, because the benefits
pay the system, isn't it?
So I think it's the system that's to blame, not the actual people.
But David Cameron, Janet, has said that he would like to ensure that the welfare system rewards work. Because a lot of people feel, they go out, they work hard, they're not earning a lot of money, but they're saying you almost feel that you're not rewarded for going to work. There are better rewards.
I agree with all of you, but the two things have got to operate together. You've got to pay people a decent wage, and we shouldn't be buying cheap clothes and cheap sandwiches, and we've got to reduce benefits so that the money you get for work means that it is worthwhile doing the job.